Okay, so today we will understand about the Power Automate desktop. Okay, so before I jump into this Power Automate desktop, first understand this Power Automate desktop is basically the part of which umbrella. Okay, so basically Microsoft has given the complete package of the Power Platform. Okay, Microsoft has given the complete package of this Power Platform. Under this Power Platform, there are different tools they have provided. They have provided Power Apps. They have provided Power Automate. They have provided Power BI. They have provided Power Virtual Agent. Okay, Power Virtual Agent. So now all these different tools they have provided to you. In this Power Automate, it is into the two sections. One is Power Automate Desktop, and second is Power Automate Cloud. Power Automate Cloud. So, if I talk about this Power Platform journey, so previously what was happening, like for an example, if I ask you, you have to develop one web solution or any kind of applications which is going to be used by the external users or internal users also. So for that one, previously, you know that people must be aware from the HTML, CSS, Java, and so on. Then only they can develop that kind of applications. But Microsoft has given this Power Apps, okay, this Power Apps platform where we can develop our any kind of a application. Okay, see, in the session we will discuss about this one, but you should have this knowledge about this one. In which scenario we have to use this one. Okay, so Power Platform is what? It is a complete package which Microsoft has given. Okay, this one. It is LCNC. LCNC is what? If I talk about this LCNC, it is low code or no code technology. Okay, LCNC is what? Low code or no code technology. In the market, you will see this word from the lot of the people. Okay, LCNC. So LCNC is what? It is a low code or the no code technology. So the low code means that everything is a predefined. You can drag and drop and you can use the defined or the pre-inbuilt functionalities. Okay, in the no code technology. In the low code, if I talk about, they have also given you the functionality. If you are expert in the programming, so you can also develop your solution with the help of this some coding stuff. If you have seen in the UI path, so if you see, UI path can be used by any non-technical person also and by any technical person also. In the UI path, for an example, if you just want to automate any of the process, so you can drag and drop the activities and you can just perform the automations, correct? But that automations, if you are expert in the Python or in the .NET or in the C++, so you also write the program and you just go for that. Correct. So that functionality is also given over here, that if you are more comfortable in the programming language also, then you can write your own program as well. Okay. So Power Apps is what? This is basically we use to develop the application. Okay. This one. Now this Power Automate, in this Power Automate, there are two things, Power Automate Desktop and Power Automate Cloud. Okay, so Power Automate Desktop is what? So if I talk about this Power Automate Desktop, so it is a desktop application through which you can automate the applications. Which kind of applications? One, any Windows automation, Windows-based application, any Java-based application, any mainframe application, any desktop application. Yes or no? Correct? Windows-based, Java-based, mainframe, and browser also, right? Browser-based application. So all these kind of applications you can automate with the help of this Power Automate desktop. Okay, everything is a predefined. You have to drag and drop, and you have to provide the required input parameter, and you have to automate your process. Okay, the concept of the RPA is completely same. Whether you use UiPath, you use Blue Prism, you use automation anywhere, you go for this Power Automate desktop, conceptual wise, it is completely same, right? Conceptual wise is what? Looping concepts, variable declarations. These are the terms, and technology is completely same. If I ask you what is a variable, you know, because you have worked on the UI path. So you can define that, okay, variable is basically the container where we can store some value and we can use into our programming. Same concept in the terms technology. I can also define the same thing. If somebody will question me related to this Power Automate desktop, tell me what is variable. Definition will be the same. But the way you define the variable in the UI path, it is having the different method. In the Power Automate desktop, it is a different method. In the Blue Prism, it is a different method. If you have work in the UI path, so you know very well, right? By pressing the Control K, you define the variable. Yes or no? Or in the variable panel, you go and create the variables. Correct? In the Blue Prism, if you have worked so far, so in the Blue Prism, that is known as a data item, right? So we create that data item, that is a variable, we create that. So the way of calling the variable name, the way of the name of the activity is completely different. So if someone says, okay, I have worked on the UI path, so I can work easily on this Power Automate desktop, completely no. Why? Because interface is completely different. Yes or no? Interface is completely different. Correct? So now we will talk about this Power Automate desktop and cloud in our session from basic to advanced level, where I will tell you about the projects as well. Okay. So Power Automate desktop is what? It is basically the desktop application through which you can automate any of the application or any of the these kind of a process. Correct. But where you have to use this Power Automate cloud? Okay. Let me tell you. Power Automate cloud is what? Why should we use this Power Automate cloud? So Power Automate cloud, it is a cloud-based application where you can develop the flow. Which kind of a flows? One, you can create automated cloud flow. Second, you can create the instant cloud flow. Third, you can create the scheduled cloud flow. Scheduled cloud flow. These are three kind of a flows. And fourth, if you will see in the interface, they have given this Power Automate desktop flow. Okay, that is same. So these three flows, we are just going to create into this Power Automate cloud. So cloud is what? It is a cloud-based application. It means for this one, you do not need to install any kind of a software into your system. For this, there is a specific URL where you have to log in and you have to develop the flows. Now the question arises, what is a difference in all these three flows? Okay, so I'm just going to tell you what are the difference. The practical sessions we will see when we will just go into this topic, Power Automate Cloud. So automated cloud flow, if I talk about, so automated cloud means flow which will run without manual intervention. Okay, it means if I just want to develop a such kind of a flow which should run automatically without any manual intervention. Okay, let me give you an example. For an example, suppose there is a payroll team. Okay, there is a payroll team. This payroll team process the payments of the vendors on on 7th of each month. Okay, on 7th of each month, they receive the invoices and they make the payments of those vendors. Now, for an example, if I talk about the vendors, so they have the 100 plus vendor. For an example, suppose I say they have a 500 vendors. Okay, they have the 500 vendors. Now the payroll team will be eligible to process the payment to the vendors on the basis of certain conditions or the certain criteria. What is the criteria? Criteria to release the payment. What is that? One, invoice copy should be received. One. Second, invoice copy should be in PDF format. Third, invoice copy should not be more than 3 MB in size. Okay, because the payroll team, when they make the process with the help of the software, and once they upload the invoice copy of the vendor, so software supports the 3 MB PDF size. Okay, so validation of all these three criteria, after that they have to release the payment. Okay, and this is the real scenario case I am telling you. Okay, we will also discuss about that. So now tell me, they have to make the payment on 7th of every month. So for an example, vendor starts sending the invoice copy. Okay, and there are total 500 vendors. So vendors are sending the invoice copy. So tell me one thing, it also might be that vendor has forget to attach the invoice copy. This can be the case or not. Correct? What is the first case?
Yes.
It means invoice copy missing. Invoice missing. That is the first case. If invoice is not there, so payroll team will respond on that email to the vendor that please attach the invoice copy. Yes or no? Correct. Second, if I talk about vendor has sent the invoice but into the image format, in the JPG format, or in the PNG format, or in the Excel, in any of the other format, JPG or PNG or Excel, in any other format. But the software is accepting only which format? PDF format. So you will respond to the vendors immediately or not? That sorry, you have not provided into the PDF format. Request you please provide into the PDF format. Correct. Third case, when PDF copy is sent by the vendor, but PDF size is basically the 5 MB size, which is more than the 3 MB. So this condition is also getting failed, right? You will respond to the vendors that please send the invoice copy in the 3 MB size, right? Or less than the 3 MB, correct? So when these kind of things are happening, so it is very difficult for the person from the payroll team to reply on each and every email. Yes or no? The payroll team log in at a 10 a.m. and log off at the 7 p.m. Okay, and these vendors are from the different locations. Some are from the India, some from the US, some from the UK, some from the the different locations, North America, APEC, from the different regions. So tell me one thing, this payroll team will log off at 7 p.m. Correct? And now the vendors are sending the email, right? As per their time zone, they are sending the email. So this payroll team person will see the email in the morning only or not? Yes or no? Correct? Then only according to that, if any of the condition is not matching, payroll team person will reply on the email. And now the payroll team person has received example the 100 email over the night, and next day once he log in, so the 100 emails this person has to check manually or not, one by one. And as per the condition, that person has to respond to the vendors. Correct? And now in the morning when this person will respond, vendor will again log in as per their time zone and they will see the email and they will respond. So there is basically, the time difference is also, so it can make the delay in the payment of the vendors or not. Yes or no? Is this clear? Is this clear?
Yes or no?
Okay. So now
Yeah.
for this, what solution we can create? We can develop the solution in the backend as any of the email from the vendor is hitting into my inbox, right? Inbox. Immediately, my flow will check all these three validations criteria. If my first validation is getting fail, automatically the flow will respond to the vendor, sorry, you have missed the attachment. If the second condition is not matching, my flow will respond to the vendors that PDF invoice copy is not into the PDF format. If my third condition is matching, flow will respond automatically the attachment invoice copy which you have attached is more into the 3 MB size. So immediately the action is going to perform without any manual intervention, and this flow will work 24/7 in the backend, right? So in this case, what we will do, we will just create one automated flow. Okay. Second is what? Instant cloud flow. Instant cloud flow is what? Instant cloud flow is basically flow which should be run by the user. Okay, one sec. Yeah. So the flow which should be run by the user. That means user says, okay, I just want to send the email to the people. Okay, I just want to send the email to the people. My team create one file and they place the file into the OneDrive. Okay, in the OneDrive. Then after that, in the OneDrive, once my file is ready, then I can see the status and I want to send the email to those people whose status are pending. Okay. So if you want to create such kind of a flow that it should read the file which is placed into the OneDrive and automatically it should trigger the flow in the backend, right? So I will just create this instant cloud flow. So whenever user just want to run, then only it will execute. And scheduled cloud flow is what? It is basically, which is a scheduled flow. It is what? It is a scheduled flow which will run on the defined time. For example, as you know, that here the payroll team is processing the payment of 7th of every month. So to make the good relationship with the vendors, they don't want to miss any vendor's payment. So for making the good relation, they says, okay, we can create one reminder flow that from 1 to 6 on daily basis at a one time, I just want to send the email to all these 500 vendors that please send your invoice copy. So timely on the 7th, we can release your payment. right? So this kind of a flow, which should run automatically on the defined time frame, I just want to create it. So that is what? That is basically the scheduled cloud flow. So I hope you understood the difference between automated cloud flow, instant cloud flow, and scheduled cloud flow. Is this clear? Or any query? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Clear.
Now, this Power BI is what? It is a data visualization tool. Okay. It is what? It is a data visualization tool. So where you can import the data and you can create the visualization. Okay. Power Virtual Agent, where you can create the bot. Okay. You can create the bot. You can create the flows as well. So now all these products of these power platforms can be integrate with each other. Okay, remember that it can be integrate with each other. It means I can give you a scenario where you will go for this Power Apps also and Power Automate Cloud Flow also. These two combinations will happen there. For an example, suppose with the help of this Power Apps application, you build one application which is basically the leaf tracker. Okay, let's take an example. You created one leaf tracker application and you say in the organization, everybody will mark by using this application. Okay, so tell me, if somebody is going to mark the leaf with the help of this leaf tracker application, so that person also should receive one notification or not that your email has been your leave has been submitted successfully, or your leave has been approved, or your leave has been rejected. That kind of a trigger also should be there or not? Yes or no? Correct. So Power Apps will help you to submit the data, only submit the data. But on the submission of the data, I want to trigger one email to the person who has submitted this leave. So in that case, this Power Automate Cloud will come into the picture, right? Power Automate Cloud will come into the picture. So for example, if there is an employee A, this person has submitted the leave. So once this person will hit on this submit button, so automatically this person will receive one email that your leave has been submitted successfully. In your office also, you have seen this kind of applications. Have you seen that? Correct? When you fill the
Yes, Anu.
form, right, you get the notifications. So all these kind of things we are just going to see into our session, right? So this is completely the overview of this Power Platform, Power Desktop, Power Automate Cloud, and all about these products. Okay. So now we are just gonna discuss about this Power Automate Desktop application. So for this Power Automate desktop application, you just need to install the software into your system. And if you have Office 365, you can install it. So for this one, you just need to go into the Google. And here, I'm just going to type make.powerautomate.com. Okay. So this is what? This is basically the URL, make.powerautomate.com. So into this, once it will get open, so you will be able to see in the left-hand side, you will be able to see this create. Okay. So once I hit on this create, then here you will be able to see all the flows which I told you. Remember, I told you automated cloud flow, instant cloud flow, scheduled cloud flow. This is a Power Automate desktop. Okay. About this one and this one, I will discuss when we will just go into the live session where we will talk about the AI models. Okay. So now here, if you see that here install, once you hit on this and once you click on this Power Automate desktop, so it will download one exe file, and you have to simply click on the next, 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 and so on. Okay. Once you've done that, then here one software will get installed, which is basically this Power Automate. Okay. So once you will see this Power Automate desktop application here, this is basically the interface. Okay. Into this home page, you will be able to see, to start your journey with this Power Automate, they have created a small tour. Okay. So here you can just get the understanding or the flavor of this Power Automate desktop, that what you can achieve, right? How you have to use this Power Automate. So for that one, they have just created this small journey by giving some examples. If you see that, here start with this example, right? Excel automation, web automation, desktop automations, right? Date time handling, PDF automation, text manipulations, scripting related, flow control related, correct? So all these examples they have created. If you click on example Excel automation, so now they have given you the some examples how to open the Excel. With the descriptions, you can see that as well. How to open the Excel, how to extract the data from the table, right? Search, replace, and so on and so forth. So they have just created the sum of the examples, which you can see into these examples as well in the left hand side. If you click on that, you will be able to see that. If you click on this home page, then you can see all these one. Okay, this is for the understanding they have given you. The some examples. If you go into web automation, how to open the web page, how to take the screenshot of any web page, right? And how you can get the data, that is metadata information of your web page, right? So all these things are given over here. Okay. If you see that into this home page, if you want to create your own flow, then either you can click on this new flow here, or you can click on this new and you can see this flows. If you click on that, now here it will ask you, tell me what name you want to keep for your flows, right? So for an example, I'm just gonna keep the flow for 19th June. Okay, example, I'm just giving this day 1, 19 June. And once I just click on create, now here you can see it's gonna create the flow for you. It means it is going to ready the window for you where you can drag and drop. Okay, so now you can see this kind of a interface, you will be able to see that. In the left hand side, whatever you are able to see, we call this actions. In the UI path, you call that activities. Yes or no? Correct. Here we call it as a actions. This mid window is basically call it as a canvas. Okay. Canvas, or some people also call it as a workflow window, which is what? Workflow window. Okay. This one. If you see that in the right hand side, where you will be able to see the properties. Which are the properties? Like the variables, you will see the image, you can see the variable. If you click on that, you will see the variables related things, right? If you here go into this one, that is a flow checker. It means if in your flow, if any kind of a error or something you have missed out, automatically it will highlight to you. So you can read that error and you can resolve it. Now here you will see that is a UI elements. UI elements, which is basically related to the selector. You are able to see the selectors in UI path as well, correct? But here we will get that. Once we will come into the Windows related automations and browser based related, then we will see that. Okay. This image related. So where you are just working on the some surface automations part, like the from the image, you are just going to capture something, right? So image related things, we are going to see that. And here you can see the version history as well, if you have created the multiple versions of your flows as well. Now here, if you see that there is one main page over here, correct? There is one main page. So always remember, when you go into the UI path, Okay, this is the question from you guys. Once you go into this UI path and once you run, for example, your bot is going to run. So that bot is going to execute all those activities which are reflecting into the main.xml file or not in the main page.
Yes.
है ना? There
Yes,
is a
sir.
main.xml, right? Same
Yeah.
here. Whatever the actions I'm just going to use, and once I will run this, so whatever the actions is showing into my main page, all those actions are going to be execute only. Okay, all those actions are going to be execute only. Now, in the UI path, you have also seen that you just create the sum sequences as well. The sum sequences, yes or no? Like, for example, you have to do the browser automation where you have to read the data from the Excel, you have to fill the information in web page. So what you do, you just create the sum sequence and you just invoke the workflow into your main window. Yes or no? You do that, invoke workflow, correct? The
Yes.
same thing, we can also use it over here, but that is the different activities. Okay, that is a different. See, so that's what I told you. The things are here. In the UI path, you call invoke workflow when you have to call any of the other page or the sequence into your main workflow, right? Here also we can create the different pages, which you call it as a sequence in the UI path, and we can call those individual pages into the main flow. Okay, that we will see. Okay. Now, here simply you have a drag and drop activity. If you see that, let's take an example. If I just go for this message box, and if you see the display message, once I'm dragging this is completely the different interface or not? In the UI
Yes,
path,
sir.
you only see the message, you provide the title, and you provide the text, correct? Here you have a lot of the options, right? Now, these things in the UI path, you see in the properties panel in the right hand side. What icon it should reflect, okay, cancel or something, right? But here everything is on the single page. Example, if I say my title should be the first session and I say today is the first session of the Power Automate, right? Simply I have just clicked on that, okay? And I just save it. Now, if I just want to run this flow, I can simply click on this run button. Once I hit on this run button, now this flow is going to be executed. Once it will execute, now you can see today is the first session of the Power Automate, right? And if you observe carefully, one variable is generated automatically, right? One variable is generated automatically. I will talk about this one, why it is generated, what is the reason behind it, right? Where we can use this one, all things we are just going to see that. Okay. Now here you can see in this manner, we are just going to drag and drop it. So all the actions are predefined over here. And in the favorites, you can add the actions. Like in the UI path also, you use that favorite activities, right? If any of the actions you are using very frequently, so you just click on that star icon or not, add to favorite. Correct? The same thing. Example, if I just want to use this one, I will click on this star sign. If I click on that, if you go into favorite, now you can see this display message has been added into my favorite along with the name of the actions. It is clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this one.
Yes.
Okay.